street renaming. You know, that deserves a round of applause. You know, someone said to me the other day that in doing these renamings, whether they're for streets or lakes, that we were erasing history. And in fact, what we're doing is writing history the way it should have been written to begin with.
All right, yes.
And Captain Cheatham, going back to 1888 in our fire department, and about 10 years later was named captain, I think is an extraordinary indication of where we want to take our city and also where we've been. And in getting to this point, over these last couple years in a street renaming, I know it's taken a whole lot of work, and I really want to give a huge thank you and a ton of credit to Councilmember Andrew Johnson, who really brought this forward from the beginning. This should be a tremendous celebration today as we honor a person whose legacy doesn't need a sign to indicate the importance, but it should have. And so I'm honored to be here today as mayor. We've got a number of extraordinary people behind me, and I'll note that we're not just talking about the first black firefighter. We're not talking about the first black fire captain anymore. We now have a black fire chief, who we are extraordinarily proud of. But again, thank you so much to everyone who has been involved in making this necessary change. And I want to hand it over to really the person who has led on this initiative, like I said, for now more than 2 years, pre-pandemic. He's been talking to me about this for quite some time. Everybody give it up for Councilmember Andrew Johnson.
Wow, it is so good to see all of you out here today. What a beautiful, sunny, warm day for this event. I am just so excited to be here with all of you. You know, this started a few years ago when someone brought to our attention the name you currently see there, Dight Avenue. He's a former city council member and somebody with really a notorious history. He actually led the efforts around eugenics in Minnesota that led to the forced sterilization of hundreds of Minnesotans. I can't even imagine, I gotta say as a father, someone denying that right, that ability to have a child if that's what you want to do. Yet that's what Charles Dight did. He is well documented, his letters to Adolf Hitler, praising Nazi Germany for their efforts to genetically purify their race, are preserved at the Minnesota Historical Society. I cannot emphasize enough, Charles Dight does not and has not and will never reflect the values of this community. This community is a welcoming, loving, passionate place. So it's a good day because we're taking that name down.
Yay!
But it is a better day because of the name we are putting up. Captain John Cheatham stood up at a time when he faced tremendous racism and oppression to serve this community with honor and to protect the residents of this community. And he truly is a name that we should drive by every day, walk by and see lifted high above us, not just to lift up his legacy, but as an example of how we should act and how we should move forward in this world. So it is a profound privilege to be able here today with all of you. And we've got some incredible history makers of their own lined up today to speak. And so I'm very excited to introduce them. But before I do, I want to recognize and say thank you to all the many people that helped make this happen. In no particular order, I know we have our public works staff here today, which we're so excited about getting this project done. Shane in particular, thank you. I want to thank the city staff and our communications department. I want to thank our planning staff who helped bring this forward, as well as my staff, former staff members, Suzanne Murphy for leading on this, Dylan Kesty, and Kate Nelson, who's really stepped up to organize this event today. I want to thank the residents of this street for all of their input. I want to thank the Minneapolis African American Professional Firefighters Association. Thank you. Is Jennifer Brooks here today? From the Star? Jennifer Brooks, please give it up for Jennifer Brooks from the Star Tribune. She wrote multiple articles on this whole process, and she helped connect us up with Robin McGregor from the Minnesota Genealogical Society. Robin, are you here today?
Yes.
Robin, thank you so much. Robin helped look up and research the Cheatham ancestry and found family members. It was a very difficult task, but we're proud that we have a number of them here today with us. I have several names here, but I'm sure there's more. Why don't we just raise your hand if you are a descendant or member of the family of John Cheatham. Please raise your hand. It is a very huge privilege and honor for all of us to have you here today, and we're so thankful for your family's contributions to our city. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also want to recognize we have Councilmember Vita here today. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got our new Public Works Director, Margaret Anderson Kelleher, here with us today. And I also want to thank APA Medical Equipment for letting us use their parking lot and putting up with all of this. We know it's inconvenience, but they're so wonderful in supporting all of this. So thank you all so much for being here. It's my honor now to turn it over to our City Council President, Andrea Jenkins.
Thank you, Councilmember Johnson, and thank you for your leadership on this project. I had a call from Judge Lejeune Lang about 2 years ago saying there is a historic building that was the first firehouse that was specifically relegated to African American firefighters, and we need to reclaim that space. And we got to work, and we started talking to Councilmember Johnson and the owner of the building, and today is that day.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, I wrote a poem called Black Day, and I want to share it with you guys today. She is dangerously happy. The day is beautiful. There has never been a better time or place to be alive, she thinks. There is no life more perfect than her home. She is right. Yesterday was a black day. Not as in dark matter or consumer spending Black Friday, though some may call City Hall a black hole. I wake up every day and go to this black hole. I have to protect my soul. But this wasn't that day. There were no dark clouds blocking out the sun. This was a black day, as in black people's issues were front and center. As in a time to make systemic change happen for those disabused by white supremacy. As in a city trying to make amends for its sins of its fathers by creating a racial equity agenda. As in a black president coming to town to shake hands with the common folks. As in Professor John Howell riding in on his black horse seeking reparations for the black homeowners who lost their fortunes. A black day as in the first black director of the Community Planning and Economic Development Agency was nominated by the men. A black day as in the Prince Hall Masons were negotiating building affordable senior housing in the community. Black days don't occur very often in City Hall, sometimes not at all. But as the president says, it's easy to be cynical, but hope is better. Stay hopeful. Thank you very much. And You know, I just left Washington, D.C. yesterday, and I was driving all around and seeing all the monuments, all the street names, Ron Brown Way, the Dorothy Height post office, the MLK Memorial.
Yeah.
That's what this day symbolizes here in Minneapolis. We are lifting up the name of John Cheatham. And I'm so pleased to see all of his family members out here today to share in this celebration. And we must do more. We must build a memorial for social justice at 38th in Chicago.
Yes.
I know Judge Lang is looking all around the city to uncover these hidden landmarks and stories that we need to lift up. And so I thank you all for being here today. It's an honor for me to be a part of this celebration. And I want to turn it over to Judge Lang for a few comments and remarks, and just thank you for your persistence and your dedication in doing this work.
It has been said over and over that it takes a village, and this truly is an effort of collaboration. We've got the Minnesota African American Heritage Museum and Gallery present, and their help. Greater Friendship Missionary Baptist Church and Friendship Academy of the Arts help host the community meetings to save the fire station and get historic designation. And we have St. James AME Church, where every Sunday they had to look at Dight Avenue. Thank you for staying steady and asking for the name change. Thank you. As we honor John Cheatham and his family members, we are so grateful to be able to honor a person and their legacy, escaping from slavery, coming up that liquid highway we call the Mississippi River, and settling in Minneapolis. It could have been a different story. He could have kept going up to Canada, to the Freedom Farms, where he would be safe from the slavers. But he settled here. And the city of Minneapolis did something very important. They gave a descendant of an enslaved family a living wage job, that he could buy a home, settle in the city, make a contribution to his community, and live and earn the respect of others. Living wage jobs must continue. Single family housing must continue. And I hope that you can join me as we continue to work to uncover the stories of so many African descendant people in the Longfellow neighborhood. Thank you.
You know, this is a really joyous day for me, and a day that seems like it was a long time coming. And the reason that it is so joyous for me is because I know that I stand on the shoulders of those who came before me. And Captain John Cheatham is certainly a big set of shoulders for me to stand on. Did you know that after Captain John Cheatham, there were no other black fire captains until the 90s? And that one of those captains is standing right here, Captain Wayne Garnett, another set of shoulders. The International Association of Black Professional Firefighters, of which I am a member, has a saying, and it goes, "For all that I am, I owe. I live my life eternally in the red." So what that means is that it is our duty to lift up those who are coming behind us, to create an environment that is better than the environment that Captain Cheatham worked under. that's better than the environment that we're working under today. And to provide opportunities for people coming up behind us to have the opportunities that I have had. Before Captain Cheatham, there was no black captains, and now, as the mayor said, we have a black chief. So continuing that tradition, continuing that progress is what I will strive to do. And again, I'm just so happy to see this day finally here. Happy for the family that you were able to see this day finally here. And shoot, let's celebrate.
Well, so I think it's about time we take down that name, huh? Yeah. Well, I would like to ask the family of Captain John Cheatham to please come over and help us take down this name with our fire chief. We've got these strings here, and so we'll do a countdown over there. And so we'll give a minute for the media and folks with their cameras as well, and we'll see you in a sec.
Get the family around. Gather around now. Turn around. Excuse me. There you go.
Oh man, thank you.
You have to sing it.
Samara.
I'm good.
Which way is he gonna go?
There's no girl. Samara.
Oh, she over there.
Oh,
She back there. She in the back.
Samara, come up to the front.
yeah, Levante, we want to see your face too.
Turn around this way, baby. I don't see it.
She right there, Miss Smith. She right there. You see her?
Let's go right to a countdown.
Oh!
All right, start with me now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
History. Wow. Council member. Can you get over there, please?
Somebody gotta go.
Did that? Yeah.